The red dust of Mars swirled outside the windows of the International Deep Space Monitoring Station. Inside, Captain Jack Thompson sat at his console, sipping his third cup of coffee. The night shift was usually quiet, but something about this evening felt different. His eyes moved lazily across the multiple screens showing different sectors of space. The Jupiter sector monitor suddenly blinked with an unusual reading. Jack put down his coffee and leaned forward, his tired eyes now wide awake. "That's strange," he muttered, adjusting the sensitivity of the sensors. The energy readings near Jupiter's orbit were like nothing he had seen before. They appeared and disappeared, like a light bulb flickering before it dies. Jack ran a quick system check. Everything was working perfectly. This wasn't a malfunction. He pressed the COM button on his desk. "Base command, this is Monitor Station 7. I'm picking up unusual energy signatures near Jupiter, requesting secondary confirmation." A few minutes later, all 6 monitoring stations had their sensors focused on the same sector. The energy readings were getting stronger. Jack's heart beat faster as he realized he might be witnessing something historic. Base Commander Mary Wilson arrived at his station, her footsteps echoing in the quiet room. "Talk to me, Thompson. What are we looking at?" Before Jack could answer, the main screen lit up with multiple new signatures. They weren't small like satellites or space debris. These were massive, each one bigger than the largest ships Earth had ever built. "Man," Jack's voice was steady despite his excitement. "I think we're looking at a fleet, and they're not from around here." The next few hours were a blur of activity. More staff arrived at the station, and every available sensor was directed toward the mysterious fleet. The ships appeared to be caught in some kind of gravitational disturbance, their movements erratic and troubled. Then it happened. The first message arrived. It came through on multiple frequencies, a pattern too regular to be random noise. The computer systems worked to decode it, translating the complex mathematical sequences into something they could understand. Help, trapped, systems failing, life support critical. The message repeated in various formats, each time becoming clearer as the computer learned to interpret the alien communication method. The ships were using universal constants, the speed of light, Planck's constant, and prime numbers, to build a basic language. "This is beyond anything we've prepared for," Commander Wilson said, watching the screens with a mix of wonder and concern. "Get me a direct line to Earth Command. And someone wake up Dr. Adams in linguistics." Jack couldn't take his eyes off the screens. The alien ships were beautiful in a strange way, their designs unlike anything humans had imagined. They had smooth, curved surfaces that seemed to flow like liquid metal, with points of light pulsing along their hulls like heartbeats. But they were in trouble. The gravitational readings around the fleet were getting worse. Whatever had caught them was slowly crushing their ships. Without help, they wouldn't survive more than a few weeks. "They picked a good neighborhood to break down in," Jack said quietly, watching as more data poured in. "We might be their only chance." Commander Wilson returned from her call with Earth Command. Her face was serious, but there was a hint of excitement in her eyes. "Earth is mobilizing every available resource. They're calling an emergency meeting of the Space Council." She turned to address the whole room. "Everyone, what happens in the next few days will change human history forever. We are about to have our first official contact with an alien civilization. They need our help, and we're going to give it to them." Jack looked back at his screens, where the alien distress signals continued to come in. Humanity had always wondered if they were alone in the universe, always imagined what first contact would be like. Now it was happening, not with an invasion or a formal diplomatic meeting, but with a chance to help someone in need. This was humanity's moment to prove what they were truly capable of. And it all started here, in a monitoring station on Mars, with a cup of coffee and an unexpected blip on a screen. The first step into a larger universe had begun. The United Space Council chamber in Geneva was packed. Representatives from every spacefaring nation sat around the massive circular table, their faces lit by the blue glow of holographic displays showing the alien fleet's situation. The room buzzed with urgent conversations in dozens of languages. Council President Tom Baker stood up, and the room fell silent. "We all know why we're here. There's a fleet of alien ships trapped in our solar system. They need help, and they need it fast." The room's main screen showed the latest images from the Mars station. 37 alien ships, their sleek hulls reflecting sunlight, caught in what the scientists were calling a gravity web, a network of destructive gravitational forces that was slowly pulling their fleet apart. "The aliens have been completely open with us," Baker continued. "They shared their ship designs, their current situation, and their remaining power levels. Our scientists confirm their situation is critical." General Lisa Reed, head of Earth's Defense Force, stepped forward. "Some of my colleagues are concerned about security. These aliens have technology far beyond ours. What if this is a trick?" From the other side of the room, Dr. James Cooper, Earth's leading physicist, shook his head. "With respect, General, if they wanted to harm us, they wouldn't need tricks. Their ships, even damaged, are centuries ahead of ours. They're asking for help because they need it." The council members watched as new data appeared on their screens. The aliens had transmitted more information about their species. They were peaceful explorers, they said, forced to flee their home system when their star became unstable. They hadn't planned to stop in this solar system, but the gravity web had caught them by surprise. "We have the technology to help them," Dr. Cooper explained, pulling up designs for Earth's experimental gravity manipulation devices. "Our new G-drive engines, combined with their advanced power systems, could create a safe path through the gravity web. But we'd need to act fast, and we'd need everyone's cooperation." The room erupted in debate. Some nations worried about the cost. Others argued about which countries would lead the mission. A few representatives seemed afraid of the whole idea of helping aliens. President Baker raised his hand for silence. "Let me remind everyone of something. 70 years ago, our grandparents dreamed of reaching Mars. Now we have cities there. 50 years ago, we wondered if we were alone in the universe. Now we know we're not. This is our chance to show who we really are." He looked around the room, meeting each representative's eyes. "Think about what this means. This isn't just about saving lives, though that alone should be enough. This is humanity's chance to prove we're ready for a bigger role in the galaxy." Commander Anna Miller, who had been quietly observing from the back of the room, was called forward. She was Earth's most experienced deep space captain, with 15 years of experience flying experimental ships. "Commander Miller," Baker said, "if we approve this mission, can you do it?" Anna studied the technical data one more time. The mission would be dangerous. They'd be pushing their ships to their limits. But she saw something else in the data. A chance to learn, to grow, to prove what humanity could do. "Yes, sir," she answered firmly. "Give me Earth's best ships and best crews. We'll bring that fleet home." The vote was called. One by one, the nations agreed. Even the most hesitant representatives couldn't deny the historic importance of the moment. President Baker made it official. "The rescue mission is approved. Commander Miller, you have full authority. Every nation's resources are at your disposal. Humanity is going to save that fleet." As the council members filed out to begin preparations, Anna stayed behind, studying the holographic images of the alien ships. In just a few days, she would lead humanity's first major interaction with an alien species. The fate of the aliens, and humanity's first impression on the galactic stage, would rest in her hands. But she wasn't afraid. This was what humanity had been preparing for all along. A chance to show that Earth's people could be heroes to more than just themselves. The real work was about to begin. The launch of humanity's rescue fleet was a sight that would be remembered for generations. 5 of Earth's most advanced ships rose from their lunar docks, their new G-drive engines glowing with bright blue energy. Commander Anna Miller watched from the bridge of her flagship, the Hope, as the last supply shuttles disconnected. "All ships report ready," her communications officer reported. G-drive systems are green across the fleet. Anna took a deep breath. They had trained for this moment for 2 weeks straight, but nothing could truly prepare them for what lay ahead. Fleet command to all ships. Begin acceleration sequence. Let's go save some aliens. The rescue fleet moved smoothly past Mars orbit, their new engines pushing them faster than any human ships had gone before. The crews worked in shifts, constantly monitoring their experimental drives. These engines were humanity's newest achievement, devices that could bend and control gravity itself. On the 4th day of their journey, the first major challenge hit them. The ship's sensors detected a massive solar storm heading their way. Normally, ships would need weeks to change course and avoid such a storm. They didn't have that kind of time. All ships, this is Commander Miller. Anna's voice was steady despite her concern. Activate your magnetic shields. We're going through it. The storm hit them like a wall of fire. The ship's hulls creaked under the assault of solar radiation. Inside the Hope, red warning lights flashed as the shields struggled to hold. Shield power at 60%, called out the engineering officer. 50%. 45. Anna gripped her chair tightly. Hold course. We've got this. Just when it seemed their shields might fail, they broke through the other side of the storm. The crew let out a cheer. Their ships had proven themselves tougher than anyone had expected. Then something new appeared on their communication screens. The aliens were sending them a real-time message. The computer quickly translated it. Human fleet, we see you coming. Your bravery in the solar storm impresses us. We are sending you our shield frequency data. It may help protect your ships better. The alien data arrived, and Earth's engineers were amazed. Within hours, they had modified their shields using the alien designs. The next solar flare they encountered barely shook their ships. As they got closer to the stranded fleet, they established better communications with the aliens. The rescue fleet's crews were fascinated to learn about their new alien friends. The aliens' leader, whom they called Admiral Blue because of his glowing blue skin, shared their story. Our home star began to die, he explained through the translator. We had to leave quickly, taking as many of our people as we could. We thought we had plotted a safe course through your system, but this gravity web caught us by surprise. Anna found herself admiring these beings. Like humans, they had faced disaster with courage. We'll get you out, she promised. Humans are pretty good at solving tough problems. Admiral Blue's response carried a tone of gratitude that needed no translation. We already see this truth. Your ships are less advanced than ours, yet you fly them with great skill. You face danger to help strangers. These are rare qualities in the galaxy. The journey continued, each day bringing them closer to their goal. The human crews learned more about their new alien friends, sharing stories and knowledge. Both species discovered they had much in common: curiosity, courage, and a deep desire to explore the stars. Finally, after 12 days of travel, they reached the edge of the gravity web. The sight was both beautiful and terrifying. Waves of distorted space twisted around the alien fleet, trapping them in a maze of destructive forces. All ships, take your positions, Anna ordered. This is what we came for. Let's show our new friends what humanity can do. The rescue fleet spread out around the gravity web, preparing for their most challenging task yet. They had made it this far. Now came the hard part, figuring out how to free 37 massive alien ships from a trap that defied the laws of physics themselves. The real test of human ingenuity was about to begin. The Hope's main conference room was crowded with both human and alien engineers. Through special environment suits, the aliens could now come aboard human ships. Dr. Robert West, Earth's leading G-drive expert, stood before a holographic display of the gravity web, his face showing both worry and excitement. The situation is worse than we thought, he explained, pointing to the swirling patterns of gravitational force. The web isn't just holding the alien ships, it's slowly crushing them. Admiral Blue, his blue skin glowing softly through his environment suit, moved his long fingers through the hologram. Our ship's outer hulls are at 40% strength. In 10 days, they will begin to crack. The room fell silent. 10 days wasn't much time to save 37 massive ships, but giving up wasn't an option. Commander Anna Miller stepped forward. Dr. West, what about using our G drives to create a safe path through the web? That's what I've been studying, Robert replied. He pressed a button, and the hologram changed to show the rescue fleet's positions. Our 5 ships' G drives working together could open a small path, but it wouldn't be stable enough or wide enough for the alien ships. One of the alien engineers, who the humans called Tech-Led Green because of his emerald skin color, spoke up through the translator. Your G drives are impressive, but you're right. They alone are not enough. However, we might have a solution. Green pulled out a small device and connected it to the hologram system. New images appeared, showing the alien ship's energy distribution systems. Our ships can't move, but we can still channel power, Green explained. If we link our energy systems with your G drives, we might be able to create what you would call a gravity corridor, a safe path through the web. Dr. West's eyes lit up as he studied the alien technology. Yes, the math works. Your energy systems could amplify our G drive effects by at least 5 times. That would be enough to create a stable path. Commander Miller looked at Admiral Blue. Can your ships handle the power drain? We will divert all power except basic life support, Blue answered. It will leave us vulnerable, but we trust you will not let us fall. The next few hours were a blur of activity. Human and alien engineers worked together, figuring out how to connect their very different technologies. Dr. West and Tech-Led Green led the effort, finding creative ways to make human and alien systems work together. They created a new computer program to coordinate all the ships. The human ships would form a pentagon around the trapped fleet, their G drives working in perfect sync. The alien ships would form energy chains between them, amplifying the G drive effects and helping to hold the gravity corridor open. There's one catch, Dr. West announced during the final briefing. Once we start, we can't stop. The power drain will be enormous. If any ship loses sync, the whole corridor could collapse. Commander Miller studied the rescue plan one last time. It was risky. They would only get one chance. If it failed, both fleets could be trapped or destroyed. But looking around the room, seeing humans and aliens working side by side, she knew they could do it. How long will it take to get all ships through the corridor? She asked. If everything goes perfectly, about 6 hours, Green answered. Each ship must move very carefully. Anna nodded. Then we better get started. We have 10 days until the alien ships start breaking apart, and we'll need at least 3 days to set this up. Admiral Blue placed a hand on Anna's shoulder, a gesture of trust they had learned humans used. Commander Miller, when we sent our distress signal, we hoped someone would hear us. We never imagined we would find allies who would risk so much to save us. That's what humans do, Anna replied with a smile. We help those in need. Now, let's get your people home. The rescue operation was about to begin, and it would test both species to their limits. 3 days of preparation passed in a blur of activity. Now, Commander Anna Miller watched from the Hope's Bridge as the 5 human ships took their positions around the trapped alien fleet. They formed a perfect pentagon, each ship exactly the same distance from the others. All ships report ready, her communications officer announced. G drives are powered up and synchronized. Dr. West's voice came through from the engineering deck. Commander, the alien energy systems are linked to ours. We're ready to begin on your order. Anna took a deep breath. This was the moment of truth. All ships, this is Commander Miller. Start G drive sequence in 10 seconds. Remember, once we start, we can't stop. The countdown began. At 0, all 5 human ships activated their G drives at full power. Blue beams of energy shot out from each ship, meeting in the middle of their formation. The alien ships glowed with purple light as they channeled their power into the human ship's gravity beams. G-drive holding steady, Dr. West reported. Alien power flow is perfect. The corridor is forming. In the space between the ships, the gravity web began to part like a curtain being pulled back. A clear path appeared, wide enough for the largest alien ships to pass through. First ship, you are clear to move, Anna commanded. The smallest alien vessel began to inch forward. Its hull creaked under the strain, but it held together. After 10 tense minutes, it passed through the corridor and emerged safely on the other side. 1 down, 36 to go, Anna said, trying to keep her voice confident. The next few hours were the most stressful of Anna's life. Each alien ship had to move with extreme care. Too fast, and they could destabilize the corridor. Too slow, and they risked the human ships running out of power. 4 hours into the operation, trouble struck. The G-drive on one of the human ships started to overheat. Commander, the ship's captain called out, "Our drive is redlining. We can't hold this much longer." Anna thought quickly. Divert emergency cooling systems to the G-drive. We just need 2 more hours. The alien engineers helped, sending extra power to support the struggling human ship. The G-drive's temperature slowly dropped back to safer levels. Then came the largest alien ship, Admiral Blue's command vessel. It was twice the size of the others and would be the hardest to move through the corridor. Our hull integrity is at 15%, Blue reported as his ship entered the corridor. We're starting to break apart. Anna watched in horror as pieces of the alien ship's outer hull began to peel away. All ships, increase G-drive power by 10%. We need to widen the corridor. Warning alarms blared across all 5 human ships as their G-drives were pushed beyond their limits. The corridor widened slightly, just enough for Blue's ship to squeeze through. We're clear, Blue announced. The relief in his voice needed no translation. One by one, the remaining alien ships made their way to safety. The human crews were exhausted, their ship's engines straining, but they held on. Finally, after 5.5 hours, the last alien ship passed through the corridor. All alien ships accounted for and safe, the communications officer reported, his voice breaking with emotion. Power down G-drives, Anna ordered. The blue energy beams faded away, and the gravity web snapped back into place behind them. There was a moment of silence, then both fleets erupted in cheers. Human and alien crews celebrated together across ship channels. They had done the impossible. Admiral Blue's face appeared on Anna's screen. Commander Miller, your people have done more than save our fleet. You've shown us that in this galaxy, we are not alone in our willingness to help others. Humanity has earned a great friend today. Anna smiled, exhausted but proud. That's worth more than any reward, Admiral. Now let's get your fleet somewhere safe for repairs. The combined fleet turned away from the gravity web, heading toward Earth's outer colonies where the alien ships could be properly repaired. The first joint mission between humans and aliens had been a complete success, but no one knew that their greatest challenge was still to come. The combined fleet of human and alien ships had just started their journey toward Earth's outer colonies when the gravity web behind them began to change. Dr. West was the first to notice the readings on his instruments. Commander Miller, his voice crackled over the radio. The web is expanding. It's following us. Anna rushed to the Hope's sensor display. The gravity web was indeed growing, reaching out like hungry fingers toward their fleet. The alien ships, still damaged from their long imprisonment, couldn't move fast enough to escape. All ships, emergency power to engines, Anna ordered, but she knew it wouldn't be enough. The alien ships were too badly damaged to reach safe speed. Admiral Blue's voice came through the communication system. Commander, our engines are failing. We can't maintain this speed much longer. The gravity web was getting closer. Already, the last few ships in their formation were starting to feel its pull. Then Dr. West appeared on Anna's screen, his face showing both fear and determination. "Commander, I have an idea," he said. "The web is drawn to large concentrations of mass. If one ship stayed behind and created a strong enough gravity pulse using their G-drive, it might distract the web long enough for the others to escape." Anna understood immediately what he was suggesting. One ship would have to sacrifice itself to save the fleet. Before she could respond, the gravity web caught the last alien ship in line, pulling it backward. "This is the Hope," Anna announced to all ships. "We'll stay behind and create the gravity pulse. The rest of you get to safe distance." "No." Admiral Blue's response was firm. "Your ships are undamaged. Ours are already weak. My flagship will do it." "Admiral, you can't," Anna protested. "Your ship barely held together during the rescue. It won't survive the web's pull." "Exactly," Blue replied calmly. "Our ship is already damaged, but we have the strongest power core. We can create the biggest gravity distraction. It's the logical choice." The web pulled in another ship, but this time it was one of the human vessels. The Hope shuddered as the gravitational forces reached for it too. Admiral Blue didn't wait for further discussion. His flagship turned around, its engines glowing brightly as it headed back toward the web. "All ships except the Hope continue to safe distance. Commander Miller, we'll need your ship's help for this plan to work." Anna understood. The Hope had the strongest G-drive of the human fleet. Together with Blue's power core, they might have a chance to stop the web. "All other ships, full speed ahead," she ordered. "Hope will assist the Admiral's plan." The Hope turned back, taking position beside Blue's flagship. The rest of the fleet moved ahead, watching anxiously as the two ships faced the approaching gravity web. "Our plan is simple," Blue explained. "My ship will channel all power into one massive energy burst. Your G-drive can shape that energy into a gravity pulse that should collapse part of the web. The feedback will likely destroy both our ships, but the others will escape." "There has to be another way," Anna insisted, even as the web's pull grew stronger. "There isn't time," Blue replied. "But Commander Miller, don't feel sad. My people have a saying. The greatest honor is to give others a future. Today, we share that honor." The gravity web was almost upon them. The Hope's hull groaned under the strain. "Ready G-drive for maximum power," Anna ordered her crew. "Admiral Blue, it's been an honor working with you." "The honor is ours, Commander. Now, let's give them a show they'll remember." The two ships, human and alien, faced the approaching wall of distorted space together. Their combined sacrifice would ensure the safety of both fleets, if their plan worked. The fate of everyone now rested on one desperate gamble. The combined fleet watched in awe as the Hope and Admiral Blue's flagship faced the approaching gravity web. Both ships glowed with energy, the Hope's G-drive pulsing with blue light, while Blue's ship radiated purple energy from its power core. "All power to the main core," Admiral Blue commanded his crew. "Commander Miller, are you ready?" "Ready, Admiral," Anna replied, her hands steady on the controls. "G-drive at maximum power. Let's make this count." The two ships moved closer together, their energy fields beginning to merge. The gravity web loomed before them like a wall of twisted space, pulling at both vessels with increasing force. "Now," Blue shouted. His ship's power core released all its energy at once, creating a burst so bright it blinded the sensors of every watching ship. The Hope's G-drive caught this massive energy wave and shaped it, focusing it into a single point aimed at the heart of the gravity web. The resulting explosion was unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Space itself seemed to bend and twist, then snap back like a rubber band. The gravity web shattered, its pieces flying apart and dissolving into nothing. But the feedback was devastating. Both ships were caught in the blast wave, their hulls breaking apart under the strain. "All hands, abandon ship," Anna ordered as the Hope's systems began to fail. Her crew rushed to the escape pods, launching away from the dying vessel. Through the chaos, she saw escape pods also launching from Blue's ship. The Admiral had prepared his crew for this possibility. But Anna noticed something wrong. Blue's personal pod hadn't launched. "Admiral, what are you doing?" she called through the failing communication system. "Someone must maintain the power core's containment field," Blue replied calmly, "or the explosion will take half the fleet with it. Go, Commander. Your work here is done." Anna looked at her own controls. The Hope's G drive was in a similar state, unstable and ready to explode. She made her decision. "Not without you, Admiral." She began typing commands into the Hope's computer. "I'm linking our ship's computers. If we time it right, we can eject both cores simultaneously. They'll destroy each other safely." "The timing would have to be perfect," Blue said. "A millisecond off." "And then let's be perfect," Anna replied. "On my mark." Working together, they synchronized their ship systems. When everything was ready, Anna started the countdown. 3, 2, 1, mark. Both ships ejected their dangerous cores at exactly the same moment. The cores collided in space between them, creating one final explosion that pushed both damaged ships clear of the danger zone. The rescue fleet rushed back to help. Within an hour, both commanders and all remaining crew were safely rescued from their crippled ships. As medical teams treated the injured, Admiral Blue approached Commander Miller in the medical bay of one of the alien ships. "That was either the bravest or most foolish thing I've ever seen," he said. "Probably both." Anna smiled despite her exhaustion. "That's another thing about humans. We're too stubborn to let our friends face danger alone." 1 month later, the combined fleet arrived at Earth's Jupiter colony. The alien ships were repaired, and both species had learned much from working together. In a ceremony watched by billions across Earth and its colonies, Admiral Blue and Commander Miller signed the first human Stellar Wanderer Alliance Treaty. "Today marks more than just a friendship between our peoples," Blue announced to the gathered crowd. "It marks the beginning of something greater. Humanity proved itself not just capable, but worthy of joining the galactic community. Your courage, innovation, and most importantly, your compassion have earned you a place among the stars." Anna stood beside him, looking out at the mixed crowd of humans and aliens. "We went into space hoping to find new friends," she said. "Instead, we found a new family." As night fell over Jupiter colony, ships from both species sat together in the docks, their crews sharing stories and dreams. The stars above seemed brighter somehow, full of new possibilities and promises of adventures to come. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, not through war or fear, but through an act of kindness. And that made all the difference.